I've heard that there are different causes of asthma, but in my case, it's genetic. My dad had asthma, so I don't know my dad. My dad also passed away when I was very young, when I was 2 years old, I believe before I got diagnosed. And I hear that he was also asthmatic. The worst part of it, he was a painter. And he died from asthma as well, because he had difficulty breathing. He was diagnosed with asthma, but never took it seriously, carried on as a painter. And then I was diagnosed with asthma. And I have a daughter. She's 4 years old. She was also diagnosed with asthma. With my daughter, experiencing her sickness is so different from what I experienced. Maybe one day she can tell her story, which will be different from me. So I had her in 2020, November 2020, during COVID. And the first time she was admitted into hospital, she was 4 months. She had a flu. And when she had that flu, she started with like blocked nose, tight chest, and then we took her to the hospital. They gave her a nebulizer to relieve her. They gave her a drip, and we went back home. So ever since she was 4 months, we've been in and out of the hospital every other 2 months. So we went back again when she was 6 or 7 months. She was also admitted to hospital. I think 7 months she was admitted into hospital. And then they ran test. So they'll ask you this questionnaire, are you asthmatic? Da, 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 da. And yes, I am asthmatic. And her breathing, when she has this attack or once the flu, she's had the flu, is very similar. So I can like see it, I can feel it, like looks very familiar. So I'll tell the doctor, she looks like me when I'm not okay. So can't she like get a pump or get something that will put her, even a nebulizer? So the doctor didn't allow me to get a nebulizer. I'm thinking because she was very young, she was not allowed to get a nebulizer at that time. She was not allowed to get a pump. So every other 2 months, she'll get a flu. The flu would trigger, she said the flu would trigger her lungs. They said something about if she has a blockage and her nasal, something drips from the nasal and then will affect the lungs, and then we'll go into hospital for a very long time. We go to the hospital, she'll get a nib. After getting nib, she'll get drips, like we'll be admitted for get antibiotics for 3 days and go home. At some point, we went to a hospital. You know, it was during COVID time in 2020. I think it was 2021. We went there. It was a norm to get your mouth swab and your nose swab. She was COVID. She tested positive for COVID at that time. I think it was before she even turned 1. She tested positive for COVID. So we had to be isolated at her ward. We stayed there for about like over a week. They were isolating her, and then they were treating her with these antibiotics and with the nebulizers. Still, she's not getting a pump. And then I asked the question, why is she not getting a pump? Maybe if I get something for her at home, I'll be able to not constantly come here. Mind you, I'm very frustrated. Like every other 2 months, I have to not go to work and say that my daughter is not well. I can't leave my daughter in hospital, or no one can sit. Although that I have family support, I have my mother, I have my partner, but as a mother, you should be in hospital when your daughter is sick. At this point, I'm just like frustrated at why and how. Why is she getting any diagnosis? Why aren't they at least give me something to take home so that I can do something at home rather than me always having to come to hospital? Because I know if you go to hospital, they'll say there's an infection in her lung, she has to get admitted, we need to treat it via drip, blah, blah, blah. So when she turned 2, they finally did the test for her. They did the lung test and blood culture, a lot of tests that they did for her. They were testing her allergies, her heart, her brain, and then they concluded with just that lung function that she might be asthmatic. They're also not saying that she's asthmatic. Thankfully that they gave her a pump at that time. At that time, I think I was on the 4th doctor, a pediatrician. And that pediatrician, so when I got to the 4th pediatrician, I told her, okay, I'm frustrated. I've been to this doctor, and then she also advised me that, oh no, this is the process, but since you are not satisfied, I'm just a pediatrician, let me transfer you to a pulmonologist, then you'll see your doctor. Soon after I've seen that pediatrician, she also got another flu, and then she got a attack. We went to hospital, and there was a chance for this pulmonologist to see her in hospital. Then she did these tests, and she did this these lung function test, and then she said she gave me a reliever for her to take home. So I'll have to take that I'll have to see her every 3 months, and then after she was given that reliever, that pump, she was better. But I wouldn't say that she was like not having any attacks, but she was better. Instead of every 2 months going back to the doctor with the flu, I'll say every 5 months I'll go to the doctor. So her journey was very, very difficult for me. Also, mind you, she's my first child, and this is what I have to experience with having a first child. It was very, very, very difficult. She's 4 years now. She's on the pump. In the ages of 1, 2, 3, she's been into hospital, like her first year, she's been into hospital like every 2 months. The second year was also as worse as the first. But the third year, once I've seen this pulmonologist and she was actually given this reliever, I would say she's been in hospital maybe about 3 times a year. And now she's 4. We haven't been into hospital since last year when she was 3. So like it's almost a year that she hasn't been admitted to hospital. She does have these flus, but the pumps are helping her, and the other allergies medications are helping her.